Okay, so I suppose we are live now. We, yeah, I'm just double checking. Yes, we are now live. And I welcome everyone at episode 9 of Sitecore Product Tips and Tricks. And today uh, I'm happy to present you Sri Krishnan from Horizontal, and he's going to talk about the integration of XM Cloud Forms with Sitecore Send, Sitecore using Sitecore Connect. So I am going to monitor the chat. If anybody has questions during the session or after the session, we are going to have a Q&A at the end. You are very welcome to write in the chat, and we will have some time dedicated to questions at the end. And of course, if you are watching this as a recording, you can write your questions and we are going to answer it later on the YouTube. So I give you the stage, and I'm now sharing your presentation. So please, and we are all going to enjoy that.
Yeah, thank you, Daria, for giving me the opportunity to share this session with Sitecore Learning. So, hello everyone. Today, I would be sharing some details or some demo on how we can integrate XM Cloud Forms with Sitecore Connect and Sitecore Send. So, you before going to that, let me introduce myself. My name is Sreekrishnan KS. You can call me Sri. I am a technical lead at Horizontal Digital. I was also awarded 3 times Sitecore MVP in technology. For the past 9 years, I have been diving deep into the world of Sitecore development and architecture. I have had the opportunity to work on variety of projects and I am constantly learning and expanding my skill set. In fact, I am a certified developer for XM Cloud, Order Cloud, and Sitecore 10. Beyond my day job, I am passionate about fostering the Sitecore community. I am actually the founder of Sitecore User Group Kerala, or SUGKER for short. It is a great way to connect with other Sitecore enthusiasts and share knowledge. I also enjoy sharing my learnings through writing. If you are interested in Sitecore or web development in general, feel free to check out my blog at codeandlearnsport.wordpress.com. So here it is, the agenda for today, where we start by introducing XM Cloud Forms, its features, Sitecore Connect, introduction, Workato, and key concepts, Sitecore Send, its introduction and end-to-end integration with a use case and a demo. So before starting, you would have gone through the previous session, which was hosted by Martin Miles, which was a kind of introduction to XM Cloud Forms on how we can create forms, add forms to the component, forms, add forms component to the Sitecore website, etc. So this would be a little bit more advanced that connecting XM Cloud Forms with Sitecore Connect and Sitecore Send. So starting with the history, we had an external module called Web Forms for Marketers that one could install on top of their Sitecore instance. But this module was later considered and reworked, like finding its reincarnation as Sitecore Forms, which was an integral part of Sitecore platform since version 9. However, customers enjoyed this built-in solution along with their primary DXP. But when headless architecture came into picture, there were no CD servers longer. So there was no suitable place for saving the collected user input. There was clearly a need for a SaaS form solution, and this gap finally filled out. So now Sitecore has introduced something called XM Cloud Forms. But you can ask, if there is no CD server or any managed backend, Where does the submission go into? I guess this can be done in a very composable SaaS manner, offering you to configure a webhook passing a payload of collected data to the desired system of our choice, which is what I'm going to show you now. Sitecore defines Sitecore Connect, and now let's move on to the Sitecore Connect part. So, like already mentioned, it is also a low code, no code platform that connects your ecosystem just by dragging and dropping, and some of the steps you can configure with slight or no technical knowledge. You can configure the integration scenarios between different platforms, and you can even leverage thousands of already made connections, as we mentioned. And the some of the properties are connectivity is simplified, automation for marketing, fast integration, and you can visualize your process for each and every connect process project which you are making or recipe which you are making. You can actually visualize your data, that what is happening with your data. Moving on to Sitecore Send. Actually, Sitecore Send, it was formerly called Musent, which was acquired in the Q2 of 2021. This SaaS platform performs a variety of digital marketing workloads, and since the acquisition, Musent has been an integral part of Sitecore's composable strategy. It is currently available as part of the DXP product family under the name as Sitecore Send. Sitecore Send is a cloud-based AI-powered email marketing solution that lets your target audience at scale. And some of the properties or some of the tools that you can see is campaigns, automations, audience discovery, reports and dashboards, etc. So it allows you to create campaigns. For example, it allows you to create A/B test your campaigns to identify which version will have the highest conversion rate or the targeted audience. You can trigger automation based on real-time user behavior. For example, it is something out of context, but if some user abandoned their cart, for example, you are purchasing a product, you are abandoning a cart, you can trigger an automation. For example, you are subscribing to a newsletter and you need to send monthly newsletter. That also can be done through automation. Next is audience discovery. You can leverage AI and machine learning to create predictive segments for your campaigns with audience discovery. You can identify your audience based on their behavior and preferences and use this information to optimize your email marketing campaigns. And finally, reports and dashboard. You can also see, you can get insights from the reports and dashboards to monitor campaign performance, revenues, track email recipients with live data. You can also access advanced real-time analytics to make data-driven decisions. So this is the solution architecture that we are going to present to you for now, where we have an XM Cloud forms. We are designing a form. We are adding it into XM Cloud. Use Sitecore Connect and Sitecore Connect project recipes and connections, and use Send, use list campaigns automation. Some of the key features of XM Cloud Forms are drag and drop, webhooks, reporting and analytics. We have a template library which you can reuse. We have reCAPTCHA. We can save the form as a template where you can reuse those forms. Similarly, Sitecore Connect. It is fully working based on a platform called Workato. Workato, it is an automation or else it's a platform that helps you automate your business workflow across cloud and on-premises apps. Both cloud-based and on-premises systems are supported. In Connect, we have a project where where it is a business workflow or process that requires the exchange of data or functionality between Sitecore and other systems. Project is created by assembling a series of connections and recipes. Now, recipes are user-created automated workflows in Workato. It can have multiple apps consisting of trigger or any other actions. Recipe steps are executed every time the trigger event occurs. Recipes are required to have at least one step. And then for this recipe to communicate with other apps like via actions and triggers, it has to be authorized. And this authorization is referred to as a connection. Connections are not tied to a recipe. A single connection can be used by multiple recipes and multiple projects. Then Sitecore send, we can create list with different recipients. We can send campaigns. We can trigger automations. Anything we can do it with Sitecore send. So now we are gone over the theory for some time. So this is the end-to-end integration use case that I'm going to share. First, we'll be creating an XM Cloud form, for example, a contact form with file upload and subscribe. We will add a webhook which is created from Sitecore Connect. We'll preview and test the form and then add it to the XM Cloud website. We'll save the form data in Google Sheets. Then we'll create a subscriber list in Sitecore Send. Like whoever has subscribed to our form, we will be adding them to a Sitecore Send list. Create an automation in Sitecore Send. Now create a recipe in Sitecore Connect which has all these combinations. For example, to save the form in Google Sheets, to send the email to recipient via Workato email or Gmail, you can add the email to the subscriber list and you can trigger the automation. So here it is. We can move over to the demo. So this is example of a Sitecore Cloud portal, and when you click on your XM Cloud, you can see options like Pages, Explorer, Content Editor, and Forms. If you click the forms, it will be opened in a new window where you can find all your forms. You can search the forms, you can filter, you can archive the form, etc. You can even label. For example, you have 100 forms. You can label the forms according to your requirement. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new form, which is Sitecore Learning Demo. Okay, you will get a layout where we can use a full width layout as of now. I'll add a short text as name, and I would suggest to use this particular name to satisfy or to make your work easier. For example, what I'll do, learning underscore demo underscore name. I'll add a new field which is an email field. Again, similarly, I'll name it to learning demo email. Then I'll be adding a long text which can be for comments and learning demo underscore comments. Then it would be a file upload where again learning demo file upload. Then the last would be a checkbox. It will be for subscribe to our updates. And here also I will change it as subscribe. Once the form is created, the next step is once you cannot save and activate the form. If you try to do it, it is missing a webhook. You can go to settings to add it. So let's go to the settings and we need to add a webhook. In this particular case, we are creating a webhook using Sitecore Connect. Let me go to a Sitecore Connect. Okay, I'm going to create a new recipe which will be Sitecore Learning Demo. And here it is a starting point which is trigger from an app or trigger from webhook. I'll select trigger from webhook because that would be our starting point for Sitecore Connect. We have more other starting points, but for our purpose, we are triggering it from a webhook. I'm starting building. So the first step it will be either you can manually set up or Sitecore Connect gives you a guided setup. So for let me go to the guided setup and this is the event name. Let me Sitecore Learning Demo. This will be my address. I am copying this address now. Okay. Then I'll go to next. What it is doing is it is going to like check listening for a event. So I am going to my forms and I am going to manage webhook where I am going to create a new webhook with no authentication and Sitecore Learning Demo and the URL which I pasted from there, copied from there, I am pasting it. Save it. Now that webhook is available. I am going back from here. I am going to select the webhook which we created now and I am going to test this webhook. When I test it, it will open me all the fields that has been created in the form. So I am adding my name. I am uploading any file. I am subscribing to the updates and I am submitting it. So before final submission, it will show us the payload that we are sending for submission. So here if you see, in order to identify the payloads, that is why we have made this easier to read. Okay, and my next step will be submit, and when I go to projects, it will show me that event is received here. Once the event is received, you can see the payload that was sent. And finally, I can complete setting up the webhook. Complete. Now, once we have this webhook ready, now we can continue to our other things. So first I'll go to Sitecore Send. I'm going to create a new audience list. Sitecore Learning Demo. Okay. Now let us keep this open. I'm going back to connect and first thing if condition I'm adding a condition where this fields can be now we no need to fill this manually. We can everything drag and drop from the payload which we received. So if I have the email field is present. You can have other conditions contain starts with etc. But if email field is present, then only I have to select go with other apps or other things. Now if it is not there, I have to stop the job. Now if it is yes condition, what we are doing is first I am going to send this form details to Google Sheets. So for that what I'll do is I'll go to my Google Sheets and let me create a new Google Sheet which is Sitecore Learning Demo. And since I know the fields which I have created, what I'll do is I'll create name, email, comments, upload URL and subscription. And this is my header and I am saving this. So this is now saved. Now let me save this and let me reload this project once again. Okay, I am editing the recipe because it takes some time to get the form details here. Sorry, the Excel details here. So first thing, I am selecting an app. I have already made a connection to my Google Sheets app. So if I click on this, what I'll do is I can add a new row in the selected sheet. Let me go through that. And I have added this learning demo account. If the account is not added, you can add a new connection and you can connect your Google Sheets account to that. I'm clicking on this, and in this particular sheet it displays me both forms that are available. For example, I have my two forms here, so it displays, and I'm selecting the learning demo and I'm selecting sheet 1. Now it populates my all the header that is available. In the name, I'm adding the day name here, email here, comments, upload file URL. Since it is an array, so you can see this is a string, this is a string array. So for this, what we'll do is I'll just go to the formula and I'll get the first array and two strings. That's it. How I could identify is that, for example, when I sent the details, right? When I sent the form detail, I was able to see the webhook. For example, this is just for testing purpose. So if I am submitting it, you can see here, this is an array and I have to take the first URL from the array. If we have multiple files, we can take the multiple files there and separate it using comma. So in the connect, what we are doing is dot first and to string. And that is also one advantage of Sitecore Connect is it will help us to add any formula. You can split the string, you can make it any actions. There will be many actions that you can see here. So you can use, for example, if I press dot split present to date, sub replace to date to hex, you have different amount of functions in Sitecore Connect. Now I'm not going to use those. And subscription, subscribe. That is it. I'm closing it, I'm saving it. Okay. Once my new row is added, each and every steps I can monitor. What I'll do is I'll test it. Okay, and they are checking it for a new trigger event. So what I'll do is I'll just submit it. So the trigger found and processing the recipe and everything is successful. Now if I open my learning demo, whatever names I typed there, everything is now available in the sheet. So my first step has been successful now. The next thing is, once my form data is saved, the next step is I need to send an email. So I'll put an action in an app and I will select Gmail and send an email. Now first there should be two emails. One email is sent to the person who has filled the form and one email has to be sent to the admin. So let me connect, and first email I am sending it to the person who has filled the form. We have received your query. And email type, you can add HTML or text here. We have received your query. Our representative will get back to you in 24 to 48 hours. Thanks for your interest. Okay, that is it. We have some optional fields which you can use whether it is from BCC, CC, etc. But currently I am not using those. Once this is done, again I am saving it. The next one should be again an action in an app, which is I am using Gmail. I am sending an email to myself. Suppose if I am the admin, or else whoever is creating this particular recipe or this particular action, he's the admin. So let me add myself. Subject: you have received a query. You have received a query. Name, email, comments, files uploaded. Then we have subscribe. Okay, then I have to use all these fields: name, email, upload, comments, and subscribe. See, it is easy. It is just a drag and drop. The basic, all the basic configurations are so easy to configure. I'm saving it. Now I have to test this both, whether I am able to successfully getting it or not. So again, I am testing the recipe. I'm going to the form sk test2 sk. Okay, I have to provide an actual email so that I can check it. So tester testing009 at the rate gmail.com. sk testing comments, uploading files, and subscribe. I'm submitting it. Submit. It has received the trigger and everything is successful now. Now let me open my mail. This is the one 0 minutes ago. We have received your query. Our representative will get back to you in 24 to 48 hours. Thanks for your interest. Whatever we have typed, we are getting it. Now let me go back, and I might have got one more email which I can share. So this is one more email that we have received to the other person. So you have received a query. Name is SKTest2. The email, comments, and the files uploaded, and then subscribe equal to true. We can format this. Currently, this is displaying in the same line, but we can format it accordingly. So now your both actions or all the three actions that we have configured are working fine. Let me go back to the recipe. The next, till now we have not involved Sitecore send into the picture. Now is the place where we are going to involve Sitecore send. You remember we had a subscribe checkbox in our form. So we'll use that. Now I'm adding a step where if condition, if I have the subscribe is true. That's it. The Boolean condition, if it is true, I'm closing it. And if that is true, what I need to do is I have to go to send, and whatever list we created, for example, I created a list now, right? In this particular list, I have to make sure I am adding that subscriber. So let me search for Sitecore. You can find, you can connect this much Sitecore apps. For example, there is Sitecore CDP, Content Hub 1, Connect, Xconnect. Order Cloud, and Sitecore Send. I'm adding Sitecore Send and create a subscriber. This is the one which is I have connected, and the email list is Sitecore Learning Demo, which I have created now. And subscriber email address would be the email that we have got received from there. Subscription consent, it is always yes, because he has agreed for subscription. That is why this is the name. We can add custom fields if required, but for this particular purpose, for subscription purpose, we need only name and email. I'm closing it. I'm saving it. The next thing, I have to test this whether the subscriber is created or not. So let me test it again. And this is actually easy. You can test each and every step of your this one. Test subscription. Subscribe. I'm submitting it, and I submit it. Now it is trigger is found, and it is successful now. If I go to this and I reload, see, whatever email which I had provided there with my name is created now in this particular list. Now it is easy, right? We have created the list. So now if this is a event form which we are adding it in any of our websites for our promotion purpose, with minutes of time or with seconds of time, we are getting all the data of the people who are interested or who are wishing to subscribe to our updates and newsletters. Now, again, before triggering an automation, I'll just go to the automation, and I am going to create a new, either you can create from a recipe or else you can create custom automation. Now select your trigger. This trigger would be when subscribes to any list, and that list would be subscription save. Sorry, that is not the one. So I need to delete it. Back to triggers. Then subscribe to a specific list, and the email list is Sitecore Learning Demo. Save. So when someone subscribes to the list Sitecore Learning Demo, what we have to do is we have to send an email campaign. Okay. This email campaign, either you can trigger using a template, out of the box template, or else so from name, since this is a demo account, we have this demo account only. We can use the rich text editor or else a campaign editor, where I can use a ready campaign which is not available now. So I can go to the editor now, which will take me to the editor, and you can use from a template also. There is everything template specific. So subscription, there should be some offers, or you can get all the categories. You can choose anything. So this is a fresh welcome. Let's use this. use template. Okay. So this is just the template which we are going to use as of now. Update campaign and continue. Yes. Now it will take me back to the automation, and you can send. For example, if the subscriber has subscribed to that specific list, you can send this email campaign. And save. And I am saving as a recipe and site course learning demo. Save. And I have made that automation active now. I am exiting it, and inside the automation we have this automation. I'm changing the name also. Okay, now I'm going to connect, and in the recipe, once the subscriber is created in the site course send, then it will trigger me that automation automatically. Either you can trigger an existing automation from here. So you can click this. And inside this Sitecore learning demo and subscriber email address would be the one which we have created there. That is everything. So let's test the full recipe. Let me add actual Sreekrishnan. Successful. Let me check whether I received an email or not. I have received the email which we have sent here. That is the welcome to the. So we have received a query. I am yet waiting for getting the automation email. Let me check for that. I have not received it yet. Not sure why. Let me check. Actually, this learning demo has been triggered once. It's just that it has not reached up to me. Might be it is taking some time. But all the other parameters that we have set, everything has been updated. I'll wait a couple of minutes to just to check if I'm able to get that uh, newsletter. Now let's see how we can use this particular uh, form, whatever form we have created. Now this is completed. We can just save it, and I'm just saving the recipe successfully. I can also close this. I can save and activate the form. For that, let me choose a submit action, save and exit. Okay, still in draft state. 1 second. So this is not the one. Now it is actively showing active. I'm going to my pages. Let me go to the XM Cloud. This is my demo site. There is a contact page which has been added. 1 second. I'm not sure, there is some problem. Okay. Here I'm adding that component which is the form which I have created now. And that would be all automatically here shown. Sitecore learning demo. And if you need to show some cloud forms in this particular thing, you have to make sure you are designing a BYOC component. Only through BYOC, bring your own component, you can activate XM Cloud Forms. Okay, now this is added. Let us preview this in the website. So that form is now added in the website. Let me check it. So once I am submitted, it is saying form has been submitted successfully. Let me check once. I have not received the email yet. Need to check why. Okay. Before that, what I have to do is I have to go to this recipe and I have to start the recipe. I forgot that. We need to make sure we are starting the recipe. Now let me go to this pages again and I am submitting it yet. See, KS at Outlook horizontalintegration.com. Let us. Okay, that has been done. Now if I go to the connect, it will show me a different job. That is a new job that has been created now. So like you can see, I have received both the emails. So we have received a query, Sreekrishnan KS, and whatever names and details I have typed. The only thing that is missing is still I have not got the subscription form. I need to check. Let me go and check here. Hmm. Actually, this has been triggered 2 times. The only thing is I am not getting an email yet, but all the 3 members has been created here. My name. So all these 3 times I have tested. All the three has been created here. Yeah, I guess the automation. I think it might take some time. Not sure why it is not sending it now. But yeah, that is it. That is all about how to connect XM Cloud Forms with Connect or using Sitecore Connect. We can add, do anything in Sitecore Send, create a list, send an email, etc. using different Connect recipes. Yeah, that is it from my side. Questions? Yeah, Daria.
Yes. So thanks a lot for the presentation. Yeah, sorry, I was not able to add myself yet. So thanks a lot, and I think it's a very, very detailed demo that you have given. It will be very helpful to many people. I already see in the chat that people complimented your way of explanation, and indeed, I think it's a great also manual for many people who are going to use these tools. So thanks a lot for introducing, especially for those people who are just starting to work with these products. I think this is a very good introduction. Do you have any questions to the author of the session? Is there anything anybody wants to ask? You still have time to do that in the chat. Okay, the question is, how can we add a by YOC component?
Yeah. So that is using React.js. So using the React, you have to deploy that component to the XM Cloud, and that is how you can add a BYOC component. You can get all the details outside. So let me check. Add a BYOC component. React. So it is the guide is provided by Sitecore itself. You can add your BYOC components to XM Cloud in one of two ways. Either you can register them manually from your Next.js application, or else if the components are part of the components folder alongside SXA components. So you have all the details that is available. You can refer to the Sitecore documentation for the same for registering a BYOC component.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, any other questions? Okay. If anybody has questions after the session and they are watching the recording, again, you are very welcome to write comments to this video. And I'm then going to reach out to Sri Krishnan to to ask the answer on this question. So yeah, feel free to do that. Otherwise, thanks a lot, everyone who attended and everyone who's now watching it in recording. It's been great, and I once again thanks a lot for such a detailed explanation. I think it's very valuable, and looking forward to probably meeting you at some future sessions of tips and tricks.
Sure.
So thanks a lot, and have a great evening.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Sitecore Learning, for giving me the opportunity for